When things are all mixed up, it's much harder. We can get very frustrated because we want all the blue things to be with all the red things. We like things to be sorted out. We like things to be tidy. Well, don't you worry. In Minecraft, you can be tidy too. I'm going to show you how to make an awesome automatic item sorter that can expand to as many sorted items as you would like. It's going to be brilliant, so don't you go anywhere.
Just me and my guitar.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance. And today we're going to do an item sorter, a really simple item sorter that you can expand to as big as you would ever want it to be. This one is pretty much infinitely expandable, although it does use quite a lot of hoppers, so beware, you're going to be using a little bit of iron to be able to make it. But it sorts pretty much anything you want it to sort. It's really clever, and that is what it looks like in the background there. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it block by block, and it's going to be awesome. I hope you enjoy it. So shall we crack on? I think we ought to. What you need for this build is 4 chests, 3 trap chests, 5 redstone torches, 21 hoppers, 11 conductive blocks. I've got smooth stone, but you could use cobblestone or anything like that. 5 redstone comparators, 5 redstone repeaters, 10 lots of redstone dust, a sign, 6 item frames, 26 oakwood stairs, 105 random blocks that you're never ever likely to sort, 25 oakwood, and 2 of each item it is that you're going to be sorting, and a lava bucket because it's pretty. So that is what you're after to make what I've made. But of course, if you're going to frame it up differently, you might need something other than the oak wood and the oak wood stairs. That's entirely up to you. First question you've got to ask yourself is, how many things do I want to sort? Now, maybe you only want to sort a couple of 3 things, or maybe you want to sort 27. And that's okay, because this will work with either of those. But whatever it is, you need to work out how many things do I want to sort and add 1. So if it's 26 items you want to sort, you need a row of 27 chests. Now, we've done this by doing it chest, trap chest, chest, trap chest, and that gives you this kind of tessellation effect. They don't join up the way a double chest would, like this. Look, if I do that, they don't join up like that. They keep separate. And then come around the back and dig a trench behind all but the last chest. So this chest, which is going to be the trash chest, doesn't need anything in it. Then get a redstone torch and stick it on the back of this hole. Now that redstone torch, even though it only looks like it's sat on the little bit there, that is occupying that whole block, which is really important because this redstone torch is going to lock these hoppers. So go into crouch. You've got to go and crouch, otherwise this happens. And that's really annoying. So crouch down and stick a hopper in the back of each of these chests, including that one at the end, because we're still going to feed our rubbish into it. Now get yourself a redstone conductive block. I'm using smooth stone, but the choice is entirely yours because this bit is probably going to be hidden, so it doesn't really matter. Don't put one behind the trash hopper, but put one behind all of the others. So again, if you've got 28,000 sorty things, you need 28,000 of these blocks. Then dig a trench behind them like that. Get a redstone repeater and stick it facing in towards this block here. So what it will do is when it gets a signal running in from here, it's going to shoot the signal right through that block into this torch, and that is going to create a NOT gate effect, which will turn the torch off and unlock this hopper, which is exactly what it is we're trying to achieve. Then get yourself your redstone conductive block again and stick a second row along it. Then we're going to get a comparator, and we're going to put a comparator facing away from your hoppers all the way along there, and then some redstone dust, which we're going to put all the way along the comparators, and then again down that way there. So what's going to happen is we're going to put some hoppers here in a minute. If anything's in that hopper, it's going to generate a signal. That signal is going to be detected by this comparator here. It's going to suck the signal out. It's going to shove it along this row of redstone here, which is the really important row of redstone, because that will power the block that that redstone is sitting on. That block will then be powered, which will power, I'll just knock that out there, which will power that repeater there, which will push power through the block underneath here, turn that torch off, which will unlock this hopper, which will allow stuff to be sucked through and into your sorting system. It's really quite simple when you think about it, but it sounds complicated. It looks a lot worse than it is. Now I've just got to patch this up. Now I've come back around the front because we're going to start to build the frame. Only start to, not completely. So I'm using wood. Again, you could do a stony frame or a sandstony frame or whatever you wanted, but I'm using wood, and I'm going to come up 2, and then along this side as well, I'm going to come up another 2 like that. There we go. And now I'm going to get some steps, and we're going to put upside down steps. I'm using again oak wood steps because they're fairly simple to put. I'm going to put upside down steps across the entire row. Now, because that's a step, it will allow the chest to open, which is what we're after. So we're obviously going to build up on that in a little while, but we're going to use it as a template to push some more hoppers in, because we need more hoppers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a hopper into the back of those steps like that. Now, it looks a little bit weird. The hopper actually isn't going to push anything into that step. Obviously, it's going to be trying to push it down into the hopper underneath, but the fact it's pointing into the step means that if this hopper is locked, it won't allow anything to be sucked through this hopper, and it won't shoot into the step, so it'll just stay there until it's ready, which is exactly what it is we're after. And then we're going to come along here, and we need to just build tower up just a little bit until we've got a tower above these hoppers, and we're going to get more hoppers, more hoppers, and we're going to just put hoppers facing in this direction. So if you can see, the little nibby bit there of the hopper is facing into that bit of stone, which is great. And then we're going to crouch again, because if you don't crouch, that happens, and it's really annoying. We're going to crouch. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, all the way along like that. See, I didn't crouch. That's what happens. It's really annoying. And then we're going to put in one extra one like that, and we're going to expand on this again in a minute. Don't worry. Let's get another extra one in there, and then come around this side and stick another one facing forwards like that. So you can see we've got kind of a little L shape, which is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hoppers. And on top of this hopper here, we're going to stick another chest. So get your chest, go into crouch, and put a chest in there. So that is the I'm going to put my stuff in my sorting system chest entry point like that, which is great. And then come around the back, because now we're going to start to make the magic, the bit that makes this system work. I've come around the back, and in the middle row of these hoppers here, not the last one, we're going to place in our filtering system. Now this is the clever bit. So right click and get into your hopper, and what we want to do is we want to put in 21 items that we are never ever likely to sort, and we're going to do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 21. 4 5s plus an extra one. Now they are not going into the hopper underneath, and the reason they're not going into the hopper underneath is because, if you remember, the redstone torch is locking that hopper, and that hopper will stay locked until this has got 23 items in it. Now we've just put 21 items in it, and then in this last place we are going to put the item that we want to sort, which is there. Okay, so now what will happen is whenever anything comes through the item sorter, it comes along this top row of hoppers. It looks down every time it sees a hopper underneath it, and if the item can go in there, it will. If the item can't go in there, it will go along to the next hopper and look down again, and then the next hopper and look down again, until it finds a hopper it can actually fall into. Now, because we've taken up all of these spots here, this will only allow, in my case, chiseled sandstone or diamonds to go into this hopper. Now, I'm never going to want to sort out chiseled sandstone, or at least for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm never going to want to do chiseled sandstone, but I am going to want to do diamonds. So this is my diamond filter. Now, because it has got 22 items in it, it still hasn't activated this redstone here enough to go down to here. Can you see this one's on, but it's not got a strong enough signal to push it down there. If I put in another diamond, that will then release this torch here, because the redstone signal will be pushed into this block, which will activate, if you remember, the repeater, which will turn this torch off, which will unlock this hopper, which will allow the things to drop through. And the only things that drop through are the items in this left hand space here. So that is why that works. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come along to the next one, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we've put in 21, again 5, 5, 5, 6, 21 items, and then here we're going to be doing iron. So this is going to be our iron filter, and then you repeat that for every item it is that you want to do. So I'm going to be back when I've done that. So you can see we've got all 5 of these comparators are lit up, which shows that we've got items in every single one. So this one we've got flint, this one we've got charcoal, this one we've got gold, and if you remember we've got iron and diamonds. We have nothing in this one because it's not locked. So we're going to come around the front and we need to remember, what items are we actually doing here? What are we doing? What are we using? What are we filtering? And I find the best way to do to remind us is to stick an item frame above each of our chests here, and then in the item frame stick in one of the items that we're actually sorting. It's just a really good reminder to let us know what is it we're sorting into these chests. There'll always be a sign. So if I come here, I'll always know my diamonds are in that chest. And then in this end one, I like to put a lava bucket. And the reason I put a lava bucket in is if you chuck anything into lava, it's basically gone. Now, I know we're not using this as like a rubbish disposal. We're always going to be able to retain our rubbish to maybe put into a separate sorter or use it for something else. But I think the lava bucket looks like a really good way of indicating rubbish or trash or something like that. I just like it. And now we just need to build up a little bit more of the structure around here, so as we hide up some of the gubbins above it, you don't want to be seeing all of these hoppers. So we've built the frame up around here, and again we're carrying on with the wood theme, and above this chest here we need to put an upside down step again. Now the reason that needs an upside down step is so we can open it, no other reason than that. And I like to stick a normal way round step just there and a stone block there, and I make that stone block because it differentiates between all the other bits, so as I can stick a sign on it. And on this sign I'm going to put in place items to sort here. So now when I come along, it reminds me that where do I want to put my items in? I know, I'll shove them in there. And then I'm going to get oak wood stairs pretty much everywhere else to just decorate this this wall. Now the reason I'm using oak wood stairs, I quite like the way it gives you a bit of a textured look, but obviously it depends on what you are doing with your build. You could build it in any other way you wanted. If you're doing a stony build, you can do maybe different types of stone. As long as your palette matches, it doesn't matter. It looks really, really good. So that is the frontage. We are of course going to build up around it just to hide it up and make it a little bit nicer, but ultimately that is the build. We've just got to test it now. So I've been on my adventures and I've got loads of stuff that I want to sort. I've been doing some smelting for my metals, and I've been doing some mining, and I've smacked some slimes all up themselves, and I've done some snowball fights, and I've also kit some skeletons. I've got all kinds of stuff, but what I want to do is sort it into my nice sorting system. So what I'm going to do is going to come up here. My sign reminds me, place items to sort here, so I will, and I'm literally just going to put all the bits and pieces in like that, and we're just going to allow that to work its magic. If we come around the back, you can see it doesn't look like much is happening, but you can just about make out, you can see where some of these redstones are flashing, and what that means is every now and again we've got an extra item flowing into these hoppers, and that means that it is doing its work, it is doing its sorting, which is exactly what it is we are after. And if we open up this chest, you can see it's almost all gone. That was good timing, wasn't it? You'd think I'd rehearsed that. And now if we look in these chests, we have to hopefully find that everything has been sorted out. So diamonds in there, in comes the iron, we've got the gold, we've got the charcoal, we've got the flint, and then everything else is sorted into the rubbish. Thank goodness for that. That would have been really embarrassing if that hadn't have worked. And we are done. We have finished off it just by making it into a nice little building. We've got a little access point here, so should anything get absolutely messed up, we can actually go into the redstone room, if you like. Think of it as a maintenance access shaft. I've lit it up obviously because we don't want any mobs spawning inside. It shouldn't go wrong. It pretty much will never ever go wrong, but just in case, it is a good idea just to have that there as an access point. And I've made it relatively, I don't know, relatively plain, because all you want it to do is sort your stuff out. And that's what it does. It's absolutely brilliant. And there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do make sure that you slap that like button all over its face. It wants to be blue, and it wants to be blue from you. So please do make sure you hit that like. Let's see if we can't hit, I don't know, say 487 likes. That's what we're going for in this one. 487 likes. That would be absolutely awesome. And if you can be in the first 487 likes, then that would be brilliant. And if you're in after that, that's brilliant too. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit the sub club already, it'll be great to see you on that list. And I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.